Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the series of video lecture on the subject English for Skill Enhancement. Today, I will be talking about past tense. If you remember, in previous lecture, what we had discussed, we discussed about 4 different aspects of present tense, right? So now it's the time for past tense. Let's see what is the overview of today's lecture. What are the aspects that I am going to cover? The first thing that I will be covering is structure of different aspects of past tense. So first is about structure. We need to know how to form sentences in those different tenses, right? So we would be looking into the structure of those sentences, and then we would be also looking into the usage of different aspects of past tense, right? So now let's see the first one, simple past tense. So as you know, if you remember, each tense will have 4 different aspects, right? Similarly, past tense also is having 4 different aspects. They are simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So first, I will be discussing about simple past tense. Now let's see. What is past tense first in general? From the name itself, you can get the idea. Past means it's about something that has occurred already, something that has already happened. So in order to talk about an event or action that has already occurred, we would be using past tense. Now, there are 4 different aspects of past tense, right? We'll be looking into each one of them separately. The first, in general, what is the structure of simple past tense? Subject, then verb. Verb would be always in past form, that is V2 form. Please remember, this is V2, right? And then object, very simple structure. Now, as the name also you can see is simple past tense. So you can see here, he visited London last month. So this is the subject, then visited. This is the verb form, and this is V2, past form of the verb, right? What is the main verb? Visit. So the V2 form of visit is visited London last month. So you can sense that I'm talking about an event here that has already occurred. That's why I'm using which tense? Simple past tense. Fine. I hope it's clear. Now let's see the usage of simple past tense. In which occasions or instances we are supposed to use simple past tense. Now this aspect is very important. This is pretty simple. There is nothing complicated, but we need to remember the usage of simple past tense, right? Now let's see the usage one by one. The first one, completed action in the past. The most basic or simple use of simple past tense. If we are talking about a completed event in the past, an event that has been completed in the past, then we use simple past tense. She visited Paris last summer. You can see from this itself, you can understand that here I am talking about an action or event that has already occurred in the past. That's why I am using simple past tense. Now just match the structure, subject, V2, and then object. Fine. Next usage, series of completed actions. So it's not only about one action. If we are talking about multiple actions, series of actions that all got over in past, then also we are supposed to use simple past tense. See here. He woke up, brushed his teeth, and left for work. You can see series of actions. Like what are the actions? Waking up, brushing, and then leaving for job. So all these happened in the past. That's why I'm using simple past tense. As you can see, he, then all the verb form are in which? V2, past form, and then object. Fine. Duration in the past. So if we are talking about a duration of an event that has happened in the past, then also we can use simple past tense. You can see here, they lived in Canada for 5 years. So what I'm talking about? I'm talking about a past event, right? That has already occurred. And my focus here is in to talk about the duration. So they lived in Canada for 5 years. So here my focus is on the duration of a past event. That's why I'm using what? Simple past tense. So these are the 3 basic uses. There are a few more usage of simple past tense. Habits in the past. So if we need to talk about our past habit or habit that we used to have in our past, then also we are supposed to use simple past tense. You see, when I was a child, I played outside every day. So here, as you can see, I don't play outside every day, though I want, but I cannot, right? But see here, I am talking about my past habit, something that was my habit in past. Which tense I am using? Simple past tense. Why simple past tense? Don't get confused with this. This is only a clause, a dependent clause. This is the sentence. I played outside. You can see subject, then played is V2, and then object, right? Now, facts or generalization in the past. So, if I'm talking about a general facts which was let's say, relevant, or which was uh, believed by people in past, then also we should be using simple past tense. People believed the earth was flat. You can see this is not the fact. People don't believe it anymore. So that's why it's a past generalization, a generalization in the past. It is no more a generalization in present. Nobody believes this particular fact in present, right? So in order to talk about a generalization in the past also, we use simple past tense, subject, V2, then object, right? Last one, we use the past simple to talk about things that are not real in the present or future. So we use it with the second conditional. Now, if you already have some idea about conditional, first conditional, second conditional, third conditional, you know. So if we talk about something that is not real in the present or future, see the example, it would be more clear. If I won the lottery, I would buy a house. Okay. I wish I had more time. So you can see these are all. I'm talking about a situation which is not real in present. Okay. So that's why I'm using simple past tense. If I won the lottery, I wish I had more time. Which tense I'm using? Simple past tense. So I hope this is clear. There are six. These are the six major usage of simple past tense. Now let's come into the second aspect of simple past tense. What is it? Continuous, past continuous tense. Right. So one thing, whenever you see continuous, please remember that there would be the verb form will always be in ing form. You need to always use the V4 form. Right. Now let's see the structure first. Subject, then the past form of to be, means be verb, the past form of the be verb. That can be was for singular subject, were for plural subject, and then verb plus ing. This was I was talking about V4, verb plus ing, and then object. See, I was watching a movie yesterday evening. I was. So I am using what? The past form of the V verb, that is was, and then watching, watch plus ing, that is V4, and then subject. Fine. Now let's see the usage. This is again not that complicated structure, you can easily remember. Now let's see, but please do understand that this is all about structure. If you miss any point in the structure, or if you commit any mistake in the structure of the sentence, like let's say past continuous tense, then what will happen? The meaning won't be clear. So please be very particular about the structure. Now let's see the usage of present past continuous tense. What are the usage? See here, action in progress at a specific time in past. So first thing, if we are talking about an event that is in progress, that is ongoing, and also in a past time, not in present, in a past time. So this, it describes an action which was happening at a particular moment. Now let's see here, at 8 p.m. last night. So you can understand from this that the event has already occurred. It was going on at a particular time, but in the past, right? So at 8 p.m. yesterday or last night, what happened? What I was doing? I was watching a movie. So at 8 p.m., this act of watching a movie was going on, right? Yesterday 8 p.m. So that's why, to talk about a past, an action that was ongoing on a particular moment in the past. So first usage. Second one, interrupted action in the past. So if you are talking about an interrupted action in the past, you can see here, I was sleeping when the phone rang. So which event? There were two things happening, right? Or two things happened. One was the act of sleeping, another one, the phone, ringing of the phone. Now which event was interrupted? Sleeping was interrupted, right? By which event? This one. So the event that was interrupted in the past, we use which tense? Past continuous tense. That's why I, then past form of V verb, and then V4. V verb plus ing. I was sleeping when the phone rang. So please remember, if we are talking about an interrupted action in the past, okay, and it is normally used when a longer action in the past is interrupted. So the longer action, action would be interrupted. So sleeping obviously was a longer event, right? And that's why, it got interrupted, and I am using which tense here? I am using past continuous tense. The third usage of past continuous tense. Now let's come into that. Describing a past action that has not been completed yet. So if I am talking about a past action that has not been completed yet, see here the sentence. I was trying to fix the car this morning, but I am not done with the repairs yet. So what was the past action? Fixing the car, the act of fixing the car. And what was happening? It was not completed, though the event was actually started, it was going on, but it didn't complete, and that's why the next part, but I am not done with the repairs here. So you can see, to describe a past action that has not been completed yet. So which event or which action was not completed? Fixing the car. So this part, which tense I am using, can you tell by seeing the structure of the sentence? This is the subject, this is the past form of V verb, and then V4, V plus ing, V1 plus ing, and then object. So which tense it is? Past continuous tense. Fine. Now let's see the last usage of past continuous tense. When describing two past events that took place at the same time. See, it's a little longer, little complicated, but please pay attention, you will understand. It's not difficult. When describing two past events that took place at the same time, this tense is used to describe the longer of the two events. So, if I'm talking about two past events or actions that took place at the same time, means in the past, but for a particular event or action which is longer, I am supposed to use past continuous tense. See here, Marco Polo contacted Chinese merchants and leaders while he was traveling the world. So you can see there are two things happened in the past, right? In this sentence, you can understand. What are the two things? First, Marco Polo, like coming into contact with Chinese merchants and leaders. This is one action or one event. Which one was the other event? Traveling the world. Now, you can easily tell the act of meeting Chinese merchants or leaders, that is obviously shorter. It's a momentary thing, right? When he reached, he met. But which one was the longer event? His act of traveling throughout the world. Traveling the world. Now that's why, to describe the longer event, see which tense I'm using here. Look into this part. He was traveling the world. So subject, past form of the V verb, and then V4, V plus ing, and then object. Fine. I hope it's clear now. Usage of past continuous tense also is clear, right? Now let's see the other two usage of past continuous tense. So there are two other usage of past continuous tense. Background action in a story. So when we talk about a background action in a story, then also we use this tense. Normally you will find it in literary kind of writing. Let's say a novel, a short story. See the example. The wind was blowing and the leaves were rustling as he walked through the forest. So I'm just talking about the background action that was happening, right? That's why which tense I'm using? Past continuous tense. Leaves were rustling. This is also past continuous tense. Last one, for polite or indirect statement. So in order to express something politely, also we use this tense. See here, past continuous tense. In this kind of sentence, normally you will find this is the fixed expression most of the cases. I was wondering if you could help me. I was wondering. See, so this particular expression in past continuous tense is used for polite or indirect statement. I was just wondering if you could help me. Fine. So these are the usage of past continuous tense. Now let's see the next aspect of past tense, that is past perfect tense. So what is the structure? First thing first, structure of past perfect tense. How do you construct a sentence in past perfect tense? Subject, then had, then verb, past participle form. So this is nothing but V3. Please remember, V1 is the main verb, present form, V2 is the past form, V3 is the past participle form, and V4 is ing form. V4 is ing form, right? So please remember this. So what is the structure? Subject plus had plus V3 plus object. See the sentence. My brother had left before I woke up. My brother, subject, had, as you can see, had here, then left. This is the V3 form of leave, right? Leave, and then this is clause, this is object. Fine. I hope it's clear. The structure is clear. Now let's see the usage of past perfect tense. Where are the instances where we use past perfect tense? So first thing, to show which of the past action happened first. So if we are talking about two past actions or two past events, in order to tell or in order to show which of the two actions happened first. So the first action we always use past perfect tense. See here, she had left before he arrived. So two things happened, right? Two past events took place. Which are those two past events? The first one is she left, like leaving of her, and then the next one was arrival of him. Now, out of these two past events, which happened first? Obviously, she left, right? That happened first, leaving of her. Now, that's why this first action is always being described in which tense? Past perfect tense. See the structure here: subject, had plus V3, then object, right? And the next part, the next action is normally described by using a simple past tense. That's why he arrived. If you remember the structure of simple past tense, subject plus V2 and then object. Object is not there here. Fine. Now let's see the second usage of past perfect tense. To express a completed action before a specific time in the past. So if I am talking about a completed action before a specific, point or a specific time in the past, then also we use this past perfect tense. By 8 p.m. they had finished dinner. So I'm talking about one completed event. Which one is that event? They are having dinner. And then at a particular moment in the past. So you can see here which tense I am using, past perfect tense. In reported speech, so if you remember narration change, right? Indirect to direct and all. In those cases also we use this past perfect tense frequently. When reporting what someone said, using the past perfect for an earlier past action. So if I'm talking about an earlier past action, we use this past perfect tense. He said that he had lost his keys. So earlier past actions, right? So please, reporting speech also, when we talk about a simple past tense, okay, a past event that happened in the past in reported speech, to describe that action, we always use which tense? Past perfect tense, right? Now let's see the other usage in conditional sentences. Third conditional also we use past perfect tense. Now what is third conditional? You might have seen these kind of sentences. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. So this is called third conditional, right? Now see, in third conditional sentence, if I had studied, this part is in which tense? Past perfect tense. Fine. So remember this. To show cause and effect in the past. So if you're talking about a cause and effect kind of relationship in the past, then also we use simple past tense. Simple perfect tense. See here. She was tired because she had not slept well. So one was result, effect, and another one is cause. So in these kind of sentences also we use what? In order to show cause and effect in the past, we use past perfect tense. That's why she had. Subject plus had plus V3, slept, right? Now, the sixth usage of past perfect tense, to express regret or criticism. Very important. We have to do it very commonly, right? Frequently. So better we know about the structure and usage clearly. So if we want to express our regret or criticism about something, then also we have to use past perfect tense. Most of the time we will be using that sentence or constructing the sentence with word like wish, if only. See here. I wish I had taken that opportunity. So I'm regretting here. I could have taken the opportunity, but I didn't take. So I am now feeling regret. I'm regretting. That's why see the tense here. Which tense I'm using? Past perfect tense. I wish I had taken that opportunity. Focus on this part, you will get the structure. I is the subject, had, and then V3 of take. Take took taken. V3. Fine. So these are the usages of past perfect tense. Now let's come to the last aspect of past tense, that is past perfect continuous tense. The most longest one. Obviously it would be a little complicated, but not that much. Fine. First see the structure here. Subject, then had. So this is similar like past perfect tense only. Now this thing is different. We have to add this word been. Okay. And then because it's continuous tense, so as I told in the previous slides, that in continuous tense in all tenses, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, you would always be using ing form of the verb, right? So ing means something continuing. Please remember, something which is going on. So V4 and then object. So this is the structure. Here you're introducing this new word been. Please remember that. An example I have not given here. I'll see when I will be discussing about the different usages of past perfect continuous tense. So let's see the usages of past perfect continuous. The first one, to show the duration of a past action before another past action. So if I'm talking about two past actions, two past event. So in order to talk about duration of a past action which took place before another past action. See here, she had been working at the company for 5 years before she got promoted. So two events, right? One was the act of working and another one is getting promoted. Two action. Now, in order to talk about or to show the duration of a past action before another past action. So which happened here first? This one. She had been working in the company. This happened first and then this happened before this particular action. Both the actions happened in past, but one happened before another action, right? Or another event. So this part, to describe the duration of a past action which took place before, which first took place, we are supposed to use past perfect continuous tense. She had been working in the company. See the structure here. She had been V4, right? Now, next usage, to explain the cause of a past situation or result. So, in order to explain the cause of a past situation or result, see here, he was tired because he had been running. So, if I'm talking about the cause of something. What was the cause of he was tired? Of his tiredness, because he had been running. So, to describe the cause, what tense I am using? Again, you can see observe the structure here. Subject, he plus had plus been plus V4. Fine? Is it clear? Okay. Now let's see these last two usages of past perfect continuous tense. For repeated actions over a period leading up to a point in the past. So if I'm talking about repeated action and what happened, that were happening up until a certain past time. So they had been arguing a lot before they broke up. So what was the point here? Breaking up, right? That was the point in the past. Before that particular point in the past or up to that particular point in the past, which one was the repeated event? This arguing. So in order to describe these repeated actions in the past before a particular point, which tense I am supposed to use? Past perfect continuous. Now let's see the structure here. Subject had been plus V4. Fine. The next one, to describe background actions or situation. When we talk about background actions or situations also, we use this past perfect continuous tense. It gives a background or context to a past event. See here, it had been raining for hours when the flood started. It is giving a background information. What background information? Why the flood started. Why? Because it had been raining. So see here which tense I am using. Past perfect continuous. Subject had been plus V4. Fine. I hope it's clear. So let's see the takeaway point of today's lecture. We got to know about 4 different aspects of past tense. We got to know about the structure of each of those aspects, right? How to form sentences in those tenses. For example, how to form a sentence in simple past tense, how to form sentence in past continuous tense, like that. And the other aspect, which is more important, that we have learned today is usage of past, all 4 aspects of past tense. In which cases, in which instances we are supposed to use which particular tense. Where are we supposed to use simple past tense? When are we supposed to use past continuous tense? When are we supposed to use past perfect tense? And when are we supposed to use past perfect tenses? So please remember, structure is important, obviously, in order to write in a grammatically correct manner, but also we need to know the usages of each one of these tenses. We cannot randomly pick any tense and start talking or start writing. We need to know the situation, and understand the situation, the context, and accordingly we have to pick which tense we are supposed to use. Very simple example, if let's say I want to talk about a past event that has already occurred. Okay, so I fell down yesterday from stairs. So here I know that I am going to talk about a past event that has already occurred. So I need to know to describe this kind of actions or event, which tense I am supposed to use. I am supposed to use simple past tense. So that's why if I use any other tenses, the meaning won't be clear. The meaning would be ambiguous. Now let's say instead of using past simple past tense, if I use present continuous tense, I am falling down from the stairs. Now the meaning changes entirely. The implication is changing completely, right? That's why usages as well as structures are equally important. So please do remember them. Thank you all for being with me. I'll meet with you again with the next topic. Thank you, everyone.